I mean, you can have the most aesthetically pleasing website in the world for your small business, but if it's not actually generating traffic, then what value is it providing? I believe that the purpose of a small business's website is to deliver up-to-date and authentic information to potential customers. Search engine optimization is the art of getting the right people to your website. Hi everyone, welcome, it's Kevin Camus. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 basic SEO tips and tricks to help get more people to your website. If you just stumbled upon my channel, welcome. My name is Kevin Camus. I started a marketing agency that specializes in website design for small businesses, and I like to make YouTube videos talking about productivity, website design, photography, and any other small business marketing. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit the subscribe button below. Lets me know that you guys like this type of content. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about search engine optimization today. Over the years learning SEO tactics, I've watched a lot of videos and would often find myself feeling overwhelmed when the speaker would go into advanced SEO tactics, when I was often just looking for the basic first steps of designing a website with good habits in mind. Most of the time when I'm designing websites for local businesses, they have little to no online presence. I like to start with the basic tactics that allow me to design a well-built foundation. Then later on down the road, once the website's up and running, we can begin to implement more advanced level SEO strategies. I host all of my clients' websites through Webflow. It's my design software of choice because it allows me to fully customize each page so that I can build a site that's truly unique for that customer. So let's go ahead and get started with the basics. First, we're going to take a look at a website that I built for Prevail Personal Training. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up an incognito window. If I was in the market for personal training, I might search something like Ada, Michigan Personal Training. Okay, so here are the results we get. The first 2 results that you get here are paid advertisements. That's why they had the little ad symbol right here. We're not interested in paid ads today. What we're going for is organic search results. So if we scroll down a bit, we see this block here. This block is pulling information from Google My Business. I'm going to be discussing Google My Business later in this video. The good news is that we see Prevail right here. Scrolling down, we see even better news. I was able to get Prevail up to the #1 spot here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the site and discuss our first tip. So my first tip is to clearly explain your business. Yes, it's really as simple as that. Oftentimes business owners forget to slow down and make it very clear what it is that their business provides. We need to start from the beginning because odds are the potential customer doesn't know anything about our business. So when we're looking at Prevail's homepage here, we immediately see that Prevail is a personal training studio and they're located in Ada, Michigan. That information is front and center so that the potential customer is immediately familiar with what Prevail does. We then see this photo of Mark and Chelsea so that the customer can begin to put a face to the name. We scroll down and we have this section here which pretty much completely sums up what they do. It's important to clearly spell out what your business does, where you're located, and who your target market is. Search engines read all this text and use it to understand what your business is. Search engines are robots. They can't understand images necessarily, but they can read all this text. So yeah, first tip, super simple, just make it very clear what it is that your business provides and the areas that you service. Let's go ahead and move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to properly use heading and paragraph tags. We're now gonna hop into the back end of Prevail's site so that I can show you some behind the scenes stuff. So what are heading tags? Good question. Heading tags are a way of classifying text by importance. Text with an H1 or heading 1 tag lets search engines know that this text is the most important text on the page. We can see here that this is an H1 tag. I did that because these 8 words pretty much sum up what Prevail is. If you scroll down and look here, you'll see this is an H2 tag. Again, this is clear, concise information and literally says what they provide. Like literally it says what we provide. So when you're building your page, after you've got all your text, make sure to take the time and go through and properly tag your headings in the order of importance. In Webflow, you can easily change that by clicking here. You can go all the way from an H1 tag down to an H5 or 6 tag. I like to do this after I have all the content written for the page. At that point, I'll have a good understanding of the order of importance of what we're looking at here. Okay, so at this point, we've clearly spelled out what it is the business provides, and we've gone through and appropriately tagged all the text. We're off to a really well organized and productive start. Now it's time for the third tip. My third tip is to make the most of well-organized meta titles and meta descriptions. I'm gonna hop over to my own website now to give you a change of scenery. So let's go ahead and look at the Camus Collections website. Again, so notice how right away we're presented with information that tells us exactly what Camus Collection does. We provide website design, photography, videography, and graphic design. We're based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and these are the services you can hire us for. Search engines read all this text and develop an understanding of what it is that we have to offer. Each page on your website has its own meta title and meta description, and this is basically just a string of text that tells the search engine what the purpose of this specific page is. We can click over here to see all of our pages, click on settings, and here we can see the meta information along with a nice search engine preview. So this is showing you what your text will look like on the search engine. We enter a title here and a brief paragraph here. Since this page in particular provides information about Camus Collections, the website design services, I've clearly stated that in the title. Our unique value proposition is that we provide websites for small businesses as a subscription, so I made sure to include that snippet in the title as well. The description is where you briefly sum up everything that's discussed on this page. Generally 155 to 300 characters is that sweet spot. When writing these page titles, it's important to keep keywords in mind. What words or phrases are a customer likely to use when they enter the market for your product and service? If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can use Google Trends. It's basically a free keyword research tool to see what people are searching for. Before I dive into in-depth research, I kind of just like to start by asking myself, if I was in the market for this, what would I search for? So now we have clearly spelled out what it is our business does, we've organized our heading tags on the page, and we've appropriately labeled each page's meta title and meta description based on what information that page contains. Let's go ahead and talk about 2 more tips now. So this next one has to do with working smarter, not harder, being productive, one of my favorite things. The tip is to properly utilize the footer on each page. The footer of each page is a great place to include the 1,000-foot overview of your company, as well as your contact information, location, and any other details. So let's go ahead and have a look now at another recent website project that I did. This is Michigan's Choice Tree Service. They're another one of my clients here in Grand Rapids. When you're a local company, it's very important for the search engine to understand where it is you are located. This allows the search engine to show the customer's results based on their location. So like if I needed someone to come take a tree off my roof, I don't want to see results for companies out in Utah. I want to see local companies who can get the job done. So throughout your site, it's very important to make it clear what areas you service and where you're located. One of the best places to put this information is in the footer. Why? Because the footer is on every single page. Therefore, by putting critical information here, you're now putting that information on every single page. Do it right one time, copy, paste, work smarter, not harder. Like I said, being productive is my absolute favorite when doing web design. Here you can see that I typed a brief paragraph explaining what Michigan's Choice Tree Service's niche is. They specialize in emergency tree service, so I noted that here while also mentioning the term Greater Grand Rapids, Michigan area. Over here we can see contact information. By inputting an address, Google's able to see exactly where you're located. Same goes with a phone number. Google's able to read your area code and have an understanding of where you're located. By presenting this information, it helps with local discovery search results. And this leads me into my final tip, which is Google My Business. Google My Business. I make sure to include this in all of my website design projects. It might be the biggest game changer for local businesses. Odds are you may have never even heard of Google My Business, so let's go ahead and dive into it. If we go ahead and do a quick search for our friends over at Michigan's Choice, we see this very large box here on the right. So notice how this box takes up most of the screen real estate. This is golden. So this box is displaying information from the Google My Business profile that I built for them. Google My Business is kind of like having a social media profile on Google. So I go ahead and I upload your contact information, your products, services, photos of your business, your logo, link it to your website, as well as other social media profiles, as you can see here. Having a fully built Google My Business profile is a game changer for search engine results. Google loves it when you use and embrace their platform, so they reward you for having a fully built out profile. I do this after the website's been built and published because one of the most important things about your Google My Business listing is being able to link to your website. Therefore, you need your website to be live in order to do it. Website first, Google My Business second. When users perform a search on Google Maps, the information that comes up on there also is from Google My Business. I'll go ahead and show you an example of some analytics here. Alpine Golf Club is another one of my clients. If we look at their Google My Business listing profile analytics, we can see that their profile showed up in 96,000 searches in just the last quarter. The number one search query used was golf courses near me. The fact that Alpine was able to show up in this search query brought a huge amount of traffic to their website. We can see here that their profile got 144,000 views on Google Maps alone. We all use the app, but most people never stop to think about where that information's coming from. Google My Business is a game changer for local businesses. I make sure to include a fully built out profile in every one of my website projects. Hey, sorry, quick update. So as I'm editing this video, I realized that I didn't talk about how to make a Google My Business profile. There's basically two ways to do it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If the business has already created a profile at some point in time, and you go ahead and search for them, you will see this button here, Own This Business ? Basically, you're just gonna click that. You're gonna sign into your Google account and go through a few verification steps to make sure that you are the correct person that should be editing this profile. If the client you're working with doesn't have a Google My Business profile at all, let's say it's a brand new startup, you can go to google.com/business and you can get started from scratch here. But yeah, okay, let's go back to the video now. Okay, there you go. That is my 5 basic SEO tips and tricks for productive website design. I hope you found some value in this video. If you have any questions about website design, drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to help you out. If you're a small business owner and you're interested in getting a website set up for your business, shoot me an email. I'd love to have a cup of coffee and discuss the project. My first step to any website design project is to have a discussion about what value a website will provide your business. That's all I got for this one. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button down below. It helps my new channel grow. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later.